boys and girls, and Mrs. Rojas. Welcome back to my channel for Mrs. Rojas e-learning. Okay, so for this video, I'm going to cover for the entire week of May 11th through the 15th, which is for next week, okay? In the video, I'm going to cover your math and your reading by day. So Monday, then Tuesday for both math and reading, and so on, okay? So remember, I will tell you when I end the video for the day, and then I will tell you when we start it for the next day, okay? And then you choose to pause it, or you can always go back to review it again, okay? All right, so for Monday, let's say it's May 11th, you're going to solve question number 6 on your math question page. And then for reading, read passage number 4, which is a new passage, and you're going to write about a time you had goose pimples, okay? So let's go to math question number 6. I'm going to work that one with you. I'm going to do step by step, but you'll be responsible for solving. So make sure you're viewing these videos. So question 6 says, find 7 times 9 using the associative property of multiplication. Show all the steps in your work, then use a shortcut to find the same product. Okay, so pretty much associative. If you don't recall associative property, the zero property, remember when we talked about that distributive property? Okay, we're using the associative property, which means you associate, it's like a group, like your friends, right? And I know I showed you that in class. We would hug one set of students and then we'd hug another set of students, but it's the same students, okay? So for example, if I have my problem, 7 times 90, okay? I'm going to show that in a form of associative property. This is just the problem. Typically, associative property is longer. So I want you to follow with me. What we're going to do is we're going to actually break down the 90. It's my large number. That stays the same. So I'm breaking down 90. What in the fact family will give you 90 as a result? Okay? So think about it. So I have my 9 times 10. Right? Because if I know that 9 times 10 is going to go to what? 90. So I just broke down that problem. But guess what? I can break down that one as well. I'm going to break down the next digit. You can actually break down both, but I'm only going to break down one. I'm going to choose the biggest one, which is my 10. So what two numbers give you a 10 when you multiply? Fact families. 2 times 5. That gives me 10. So now, boys and girls, I'm going to take all of these numbers that I'm breaking down, and I'm going to put them over here for my associative property. So now I'm going to make another multiplication sentence, okay? So 7 times, because you're bringing this over, 9, which is this one, times 2 times 5. See that? Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm actually taking my groups and I'm associating with my groups, right? Okay. So now what I'm going to do for this one is, what is 7 times 9? When I do my 9s trick, right, I have 10, I'm putting down my 7 finger, I have 63. So 63, right? Times, what is 2 times 5? Well, we figured that it's what? 10. So now, boys and girls, it's a lot, right? 63 times 10. I would have just solved 7 times 90, right? Which we're going to do that in a bit. Now for this one, you don't really have to put too much work. Why? Because it ends in a 0. When it ends in a 0, all you need to do is bring it over. So what would be your answer? 630. So now I know that 7 times 90 is 630. Okay? So that would be my response. You would put that under your math answer page. Another one is just solving regular. 90, large number, times 7. So if I were to solve that, that's what I want you to do. What is 0 times 7? What do you get? Write it here. Okay? And now you're going to cross multiply. What is 9 times 7? Go ahead and write your response there. And write it down on your math answer page. Okay? So that is your math. For reading, you're going to read your new passage. So your new passage is the last one, goose pimples, right? Just because it's the last one doesn't mean that that's all you're going to do, right? So I'm going to erase this. If you need time, pause the video so you can continue and write your information down, okay? All right. Now I'm going to move on to my reading. So for my reading, goose pimples. We're gonna read. I'm gonna read it with you. Remember, through the week, use this video Mondays because I'm reading it with you. Okay? So it says, have you ever had a chill, right? Like a chill that rushed over your body and made the hair on your arms and on your legs stand on end? If you have ever had this experience, your body was covered in raised bumps, commonly called goose pimples, or we usually call them goose bumps, right? Have you ever had those happen to you? Maybe in certain times, maybe sometimes when we don't feel good, right? Maybe sometimes when we're cold, right, during the winter, right? Okay, paragraph 2. So it's sectioned off, your subheadings. What is a goose pimple? So that paragraph's going to answer that title, that subheading. Goose pimples are bumps on a person's skin at the bottom of the body hairs. These hairs stand on end involuntarily when a person is cold or is fearful. So just like I was saying, right? When you're cold, ooh, sometimes we get that little shiver, right? And if you look in your arms, you can have those little like little bumps with your hair sticking up, right? It's either maybe a chill or maybe sometimes when we get scared, that tends to happen. Okay? And do we have control over that? Okay, so think about it. When the word says involuntarily, okay? So it says some people even experience them when they hear a beautiful piece of music or experience something that moves them emotionally. The name goosebump comes from the way goose skin looks without feathers. So let's say we had a goose, right? Almost looks like a duck, but it's a little bigger, right? The beak is a little different as well. So let's say we pluck all of the goose's feathers, right, that it might have. Well, what's left on it are like little bumps. So all of those is where we get the saying of goosebumps, okay? All right, so then it says, which resembles what happens when a person gets a goose pimple. So they're just kind of comparing it, right, to something. Paragraph 3, subheading says, making them go away. So how do we make those goosebumps go away? What do you typically do? Okay, I try to do what? I rub my skin, or maybe I get my little blanket, right, my little throw, or put on a sweater, right? Something that can help me kind of feel like, okay, like I need to stop with the cold or being scared, right? So 3, normally the goose pimples go away once the body warms or the excitement or fear passes. Typically, this process is not an ongoing problem for most people. However, medications and herbal supplements can be used to regulate body temperature and blood flow if the condition becomes a problem. So maybe they're saying maybe there's some people that get it often, right? And they just keep getting it and getting it and getting it for no reason, even without being cold, even without being scared, right? So sometimes for them, they might need to see the doctor, right? Because they might need something that can help them, right? For most of us, it's usually because we're cold or something shocked us or surprised us, or we're excited about something, or we're fearful of something. Sometimes that happens, right? Okay, so for your assignment for reading is to write about a time you had goose pimples. So tell me about your situation. Why did you get those goose pimples? Think about it. Okay, go ahead and write your response on your reading answer page right here. Okay? All right, boys and girls, this ends your Monday lesson. Okay, so what you can do is you can actually pause the video and I will continue with Tuesday. Okay? So now, boys and girls, let's pretend we're on Tuesday. So now we are on the 12, right? So for math it says, answer question 7, name the 3D shapes. Okay, guys, 3D shapes, something we all have experience. You've covered that since you were in pre-K. Okay, so look at your question 7. You have 3-dimensional shapes there. Those are real world objects. So you have a pail, right? A bucket of paint. You have a baseball, and then you have the end. They're showing you the end of a pencil, right? So if I were to cut that up on the pencil, what would you see? Okay, I want you to name me the shape that you see for each one. Okay, I don't want you to put here, oh, that's a pail, oh, that's a baseball, oh, that's a pencil. No, I want you to name me the 3D shape name, okay? So now we're gonna review really quick just so we can remember, okay? So if I were to have, let's say, this shape here, I know right away that looks like an ice cube or it might be a box, but we know that that is a cube, right? Okay, let's say I have a tissue box, right? Usually they're the shape of a rectangle, right? But it's a 3D shape because I know I can put something in there. So I know, boys and girls, that is called a rectangular prism, right? Now what you need to do is you are going to name me the shape of the first picture that you see here. Remember, it looks like a can, like a bucket. Name the shape. Then you have the one that looks like a ball, right? Name me the shape. Remember, don't tell me it's a circle because it's not a two-dimensional shape. It's a three-dimensional shape. And then go ahead and name me the last shape. Okay? All right, that is it for your math for question 7. Now for reading, boys and girls, go ahead and pause if you need to finish this. It's for you to answer. Okay? So now for math. For reading. For your reading, it says reread passage 4 again. I'm not going to reread it this time. I'm just going to tell you what you need to do for your assignments. If you need to go back and rewind the video so you could hear me reread the story to you and you follow along, perfect. It says in reading paragraph 2, what does involuntary? So go to that paragraph 2, look for that word, and it's underlined for you, involuntary. I want you to tell me what you think that word means. And if you go back to my Monday video, I kind of explained it there. Okay, so pick up on some of those keywords. What is involuntary? Okay, and it has a prefix in there, in. In means what? What does in mean? Just like un. Okay, it means what? Not. Okay, so tell me what it means. Define it in your own words. Tell me what it means in your own words and go ahead and write that down on your reading answer page right here. Okay? All right, this ends our Tuesday lesson. So now we're going to either pause the video or you can continue on for Wednesday. Okay? So now Wednesday is the 13th. Okay? All right. And make sure, boys and girls, if you're listening to my video, that you make sure you wish your mom a happy Mother's Day as well, which was on Sunday. Okay, for math, it says answer question 8. Add the sides to get a perimeter. Remember, boys and girls, we talked about area and perimeter. So area, you need to think array. Perimeter, you need to think plus. Okay, so go to question 8 on your math questions. Here it is. Okay. And on your math answer page, we kind of already set it up for you right here. So that should be easy. 4 plus 7 plus 4 plus, finish what it says, and then give us the total, okay? So now, let's look at the question. Perimeter, here you have your shape, okay? So it has all the numbers for you. You just need to write down which number is missing, and you need to add those up. So let me help you out with part of it. 4 plus 7 plus 4 plus, well, what was the missing number? You have on your shape 4 and 4, 7 and 7. Now you need to add those up. Remember, add up. What is 4 plus 7? 11, right? You're not done because you still have to add up 4 and 7. What you can do is actually, you already know it's the same number, so it equals to 11. Now you can add 11 plus 11. What do you get? Okay, go ahead and answer and put your response on your math answer document. Some of you send me this one, that's fine, but try to keep it all on those answer documents just because it makes it easy for me to grade. Right here, make sure you write it here. Okay, all right, so that is it for my math for Wednesday. I'm going to do my reading for Wednesday. It says reread passage 4 again. Okay, now I want you to answer on your reading answer document, what is the main idea of the passage? What was the main thing that passage was telling you about? Okay, so all you need to do is read it. And guys, hint, hint, it's in the title. What is this story about? That's it, in your own words. Okay, this ends our Wednesday. I'm going to move on to my Thursday. If you need to pause it, go ahead and pause it and continue for Thursday. So today is the 14th for Thursday. So for math, you're going to answer question 9. It says count the inside squares of the shape to get the area. Okay, so that one, boys and girls, the figure is there for you. You see the figure? Okay, so if you recall when we were in class, we had irregular shapes, right? We had to figure out the area of those shapes. In order for me to do that, I had to multiply because here we're thinking area, right? Okay, so I have numbers on the side. I have 7, I have 6, I have 2, 2, and 2, right? And let's pretend it's on the grid, okay? What you can do, if it makes it easier for you to go in and count every square, do it, okay? And then you can put your answer here, okay? For some of us, what we did too was we could split the shape just like that, right? And then we would multiply the numbers, okay? To be able to get the result correctly, okay? So you can decide to do it either way to solve, okay? Your best bet is for you to go count every square unit or do your split because it's an irregular shape. It's not going to work out the same way, okay? So 7 and 6, and then do your inside squares, okay, to multiply. So I can do the 2 on this side. And remember, it's my, it's asking me for my area of an irregular shape. So 2 times 2, and then here, 2 times 2, what do I get? 4 and 4, okay? So that's so far so good. Now 7 times 6, remember it's not asking me for perimeter, that's plussing. I'm doing my area. And 7 times 6, get your answer, and then add those all up, okay? That'll be for your area for the shape, okay? Or go in and count every square unit, okay? If you need to. And go ahead and write down your answer on your math answer page, okay? All right, now I'm going to go to the reading and explain the reading. So for reading, you're going to reread the passage again, passage 4, but this time I want you to write down 2 facts from the passage. Facts, remember, are things that I can prove, things that really happen, right? An opinion is something I think, right? I think that chocolate is better than strawberry. Well, that's what I think, but my daughter might think that strawberry is better, right? So that's an opinion. I want a fact. 2 of them from here. So things that you know you can prove, okay? 2 of them. All right. And write them down on your reading answer page, 1 and 2, okay? Please make sure you do answer it thoroughly, otherwise I can't give you full credit, okay? All right, this ends our Thursday for the lessons. Go ahead and pause it, and I'm going to continue on to Friday, okay? So Friday is the end of the week, right? Is May 15th. So for your math assignment, it says you're going to answer question 10, which is the last question on the math page, okay? Now it says write an addition and a multiplication sentence for this array. So you have to do both, okay? It has the model for you. So I'm not going to do it and show you because that one is super easy. All you need to do is write down your number. Sorry guys, it was my daughter moving the camera. So, does it show right? There we go. Okay, so addition and multiplication. So it has both here. So that's all you need to come up with, okay? So all you're doing is adding each row. So count how many are in your row for your addition problem. And you have 3 sets of these, right? Sorry, I'm trying to not spend so much time on the drawing. They look like these. Okay. So I want you to think rows and columns, okay? So for multiplication, so you can right away set up your multiplication. Remember your rows, how many rows? 1, 2, 3. How many columns? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So right away, you have your multiplication problem and solve it. Now repeated addition for your plus. right? It's going to be the same answer, of course. So all you need to do is count how many are in each row, write the number. Count how many are in each row, write the number. Count how many are in each row, write the number. So what do you get? And it should equal to the same thing, okay? Yeah, I was just checking to make sure that we did the lines, the 3 lines for you here. Okay, go ahead and answer that and work it out. Okay, this is my math for a Friday. Oh, I think I just cut myself. And I'm gonna go to the reading. The reading is reread passage 4 again. What part was most interesting to you and why? Okay, so from the story, Goose Pimples, what was your most interesting part? I'm going to tell you my most interesting part was knowing where they got the name, right? How did they name it Goose Pimples? Well, it was interesting to find out that they actually named it because when they pluck out the goose, that's what you see. Okay, so that was really interesting to know. Okay, there's many other reasons why I liked it, but I'm going to let you come up with your own. Okay, so once you do, go ahead and answer it on your reading answer document. Okay, boys and girls, this ends the lesson for the week. I want you to have a good weekend. I will be in contact with you for next week. Next week also, you'll be getting more assignments to do, but I'm going to be posting them and it's going to be more for fun. So if you did get my letter in the mail with my Bitmoji, the bingo, that's what we're going to be focusing on, just to have some fun. Okay, I will be inviting you also to Zoom, so you can play some games with me on Zoom with 3rd grade. Okay, all right, boys and girls, stay safe. Bye.